Hi everybody, so today we're making chiles rellenos for the Quaresma. You know, Catholics, we don't eat meat every Friday or 40 Fridays due to like the whole Christ thing. So for this recipe we will need queso fresco. It can be Oaxaca, it can be any kind of cheese of your choice. Also chiles rellenos, main ingredient here. We need 7 eggs, 2 tomatoes, half an onion, toothpicks. Usually we use more tomatoes, but right now, so I'm going to use tomato sauce, which is perfectly fine. Consommé, aceite for frying, and flour. So come follow me. First, we are going to turn on our stove. We are going to put our chiles rellenos to cook. So basically, we're just going to asarlos, okay? So excuse my Spanglish, but you know us Latinas, Mexicans, we can't speak just one language. You gotta mix it up. So we're gonna do this until all of our chiles rellenos estén bien asados. I'll show you how that looks in a bit. It does take quite some time. So we'll do this right here. Meanwhile, while our chiles rellenos are asando, we're going to go ahead and do our egg batter, which is what we're going to be dipping our eggs to fry them. Our chiles rellenos to fry them, sorry. Excuse me guys, this is my first video here, so I got to get the feel of, you know, how things work. But thank you in advance for following me and being here with me, and just follow me over here. So you're going to get your stand mixer or your hand mix. I do have children, so you will be hearing them in the background. I'm a mommy of 4, so they'll be involved in a lot of the things that we do. But we'll be cracking our eggs in half. And for 6 or 5 of our eggs, we're only going to be using the egg whites, la clara. So simple as this, girls. Come on. I mean, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. I'll end up throwing them away. Every time when I cook, I put a bag right below me. Just throw it away. You dump it out later. Easy cleanup, right? So let's just do this to all. And remember, we are going to use 2 of the, what are these yellow things called? The yolks. So if one goes in there, it's all good. We're going to use it anyways. But I found that if we do our egg whites first, they actually end up coming out pretty good and better. It gets fluffier. So let's just do this. So I'm just going to set this up here. Make sure it's tight, because girls, I've had this flying out, literally, legit. But we're not perfect, right? Close it. And it's gonna go on medium, just at first, so it won't fucking fly out on you. And then we'll just put it on high, let it do its thing, and we'll get back to this. Just leave it for a minute. Meanwhile, I'm gonna take you back to the chiles rellenos. We are gonna be constantly turning them around, okay? Just use your hands. I mean, if you're afraid of the heat, you can go ahead and use some tenazas, which are these here. But I'll be real with y'all, I don't know, takes time. I just rather use it with my hand. One less tool, you get too dirty too. But ain't no shame if you need help. So see how it's coming out? We want that to happen in our whole chile, on all of them. So it will take time, because we gotta flip them around, kind of manipulate the chile around the fire. So let's go back over here, see how our egg is getting. We're going to go faster, and we'll just wait till it's done. As you guys can see, some of our chiles are done. This is how they have to look. Those asaditos, okay? So we just literally put them in a bag. I mean, if you didn't rip a hole out from the ones you got them with, that's where you dump them in until they sweat out. See, some of them might need some time, but this is pretty good. And we do the same with all. So we already have our chiles sudados. They're sweat in the bag, so we're gonna open. You can see the steam coming out. So what this helped was the fact that it helped us peel it faster. Do you see this? So we just remove it. I've placed the plate here on my sink. Excuse my English. Just so it helped me clean it up faster later. Now these are a bit still hot, so just be careful. I mean, hey, we're humans. It does burn. So let's just go ahead and peel them. Like so. Now something that I've done throughout the years, actually, I don't think it takes any flavor or anything away, but if it is too hot, we are going to, well, I personally do turn on the water and just do it under the water, just to avoid myself from getting any more burned. I know other people's, what they do is they'll just leave them, they cool down for some time, but I do have quite a little big family. We're a family of 6, so I actually usually like to have their food ready by the time they come home, or my husband's gonna come home from work or anything like that, so during that time to let it cool. So let's just do it. And I have my pink dish rack over here. I'm just honestly gonna place it there and do the same thing to all of them, okay? But see how faster it comes out with the water. I mean, and I'm not even burning myself, so that's pretty good. Oh, I like to involve my kids to cook. It's just, it gets them from just being on their phones or tablets, all that kind of stuff. My oldest is actually 12 years old, and she can literally make this meal on her own. I've taught her how to cook since she was about 8 years old. So it's pretty amazing that in this new generation that we're going into, there's all these kids being all about technology. I mean, I know this world is coming to technology and that it's our future, but then again, you still want your children to be connected to earth, you know, like, hey, we're here. So just teaching them basic things like cooking, cleaning after themselves, and just take a break from all that stuff is also awesome. So my channel is also going to be based on me being a mom of 4 kids, like, realistically. You know, I've seen a lot of other videos where there's moms who clean with me, but they, you know, they have kids, but you don't see them, and you're like, hey, how's that clean? Like, how can it really be that clean? It really is, because they have a nanny, which, I mean, that's good if they can afford that, and that's good, but you know what, I think it's important that we teach our kids responsibilities of their own, and not always depend that a mom's always going to do it for them, or just if they can pay anyone to do it. I mean, if they can do it, then awesome, right? But you want your children to be able to do stuff. You want me to hold it? So my videos will also consist of my children helping me cook. Just taking you around to their lives, just a little glimpse of their lives and my lives as a mom. Alright, I'll get back to you guys. So we've already peeled and cleaned our chiles. What we are going to do next is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you guys do it, sometimes they rip a little. So I'll just do like a little cut there. I mean, sometimes, girl, the whole thing opens up. But what we're going to do now is we're going to devein them. Not perfectly. I mean, si no quieres que te pique, then go ahead. But I like to just take this top off here, so they won't be too spicy, because my kids do eat this. And although they eat chile, tampoco I ain't trying to have them leave it there. So we're just going to do this to quite a few. Excuse the mess. We'll clean it up later. See, this one opened up from the top, so I'm just going to probably end up cutting a little bit more with my finger and just pulling up the seeds out. And we'll do the same to all. We'll be right back. So we've already put our oil to heat up. So lo pusimos el aceite a recalentar para que esté calientito ahorita cuando estemos listos para poner los chiles. So what we're doing now is we are stuffing our chiles with the cheese. Now guys, don't be stingy with your cheese. I mean, at the end it is a stuffed cheese chile relleno, and it tastes good. So if you ripped it too much, like for this one right here, it's easy. You just put your toothpicks in like so, like in, out, kind of like cuando estás tejiendo algo, cosiendo algo. That's what we do. So let me just show you another one. So we're gonna go ahead and excuse the noise in the background. That's my child, Amy. Amy's the special one, okay, guys? She is the loudest of them all. She's the daddy's little girl as well. We'll hear her.
Mama. Mama, what's the water on?
Here we go.
Huh?
Okay, right now. We'll just do the same to the rest. So now I have all my chiles stuffed with the cheese. So now what I'm going to do is I have here a plate with flour. And we're just going to cover it with flour. And what this is for is so the egg can stick. So lo que estamos haciendo ahorita es que vamos a cubrir los chiles que ya están llenos de rellenos de queso con la harina, y esto es para que se nos pegue el huevo que hicimos hace ratito. Y lo que voy a hacer con todos, this is what I'm going to do with all of them, and I'll show you guys our next step. So everybody, when you do your egg, que tiene que quedar like fluffy, and you're supposed to be able to tilt this over and it won't fall. Mine somehow today that didn't happen, but you know what? It still tastes good, it still looks good, and that's what matters. It's still gonna do the same job. So we have our chiles right here already covered with the flour. Our oil has been preheating. We have our egg batter. I think people call it like capeada or something like that. I just call it the egg batter. We're gonna literally dip it in here. See how it does literally the same thing? Voila. We dip it in the oil and we let it fry. So now we're gonna get a spatula or some sort, kind of put some oil in here. Now before you put your oil, you always want to make sure that it's actually hot enough. Right before this, I had tested out by just dropping a little drip of egg in here. And if it starts to sizzle, it's because it's done. So now what I'm going to do is grab another spatula. These are my baking ones, but hey, it's what's on hand. And as you guys can see down here, it's already nice and toasty. So just carefully, we're gonna flip it over. And I mean it carefully because this oil is hot. And you guys are not trying to get an oil burn because those hurt. So we'll just manipulate the chile like this so we can get all the sides. Just burn it. Just do this. And voila. You literally just made your first chile relleno, people. So a lot of people like to put it in un plato con una toalla. I play with like a towel, paper towel. But I personally like to put it like in a baking rack, a cooling rack. You can literally get these at the 99-cent store. And the point why I like these is because it's an actual cooling rack and the oil will be dripping off your chile. Versus when it's an actual towel, I mean, what's the point if the towel's absorbing it in the bottom of the chile, it's going to be full of oil. So we'll just do the rest, the same to the rest. Let me show you a few more here. Dip them, drop. And I'm a multitasker, so I'll throw 2 in there. If I had a bigger pan, it'll be 3 or 4 at the same time. So let's just make sure they don't burn. So I do have it on medium high. And we just do the same. Nomás con cuidado, okay, ladies? We are not trying to burn our kitchens or ourselves. So I had to learn how to make these chiles because when I was pregnant with my second child, man, would I crave them and crave them and crave them, and for some reason nobody around me knew how to make them. And it's like this specific taste that I wanted, and no matter where I will eat them, no one would hit it. I grew up in LA, South Central, so this is a spot that we used to go to, Channels. It's on Fig by USC. And the chile rellenos, although they're made differently, but somehow that's the taste I wanted, and I couldn't get it where I live now. So I'm like, okay, F this. I need to learn how to make it. I learned one day, I was pregnant, I wanted them like all the time, so my poor husband had to like sometimes literally drive all the way to South Central and go get me some. An hour and a half drive just so I can get my chiles rellenos. So I started feeling bad for him. I'm like, you know what, let the bitch learn how to make them. Save some gas money, some time. And I learned how to make them. See, as simple as that, ladies. And we'll do the same to all of them. So while our chiles are still, don't find the knife like that. Okay, while our chiles are still getting fried, we're gonna start with the sauce. So I'm just gonna cut about 1/3 of the onion into my blender. The 2 tomatoes, that said, I mean, if we had 4, then that would have been ideal. But I gone to the market and I was so confident I had tomatoes because I always have some. My husband likes pico de gallo with mostly all his food, so I thought I have some, but apparently no. So it's okay though, because we'll use a can of tomatoes paste, tomato sauce. We'll dump it in there. Y como si nada. It still tastes good. Girls, it happens to me all the time, and I ain't gonna go to the market just for that. So we're gonna get some water. 1 second. And we're just gonna put it in our little can really quick. Toss it in our blender. And just blend it. We can add some more water so it won't be too pasty. I have a pretty good blender, so that should do blend fast. But you want it just like liquidy texture, okay? Let's come right back over here. And just in time to flip our chiles. Sometimes we gotta help them out because they won't stay. But we want to make sure we cook all that egg. This one's done. And we'll bring it to our cooling rack. Push this a little bit further more. Flip it one more time. Guys, if you guys can smell this, just the chile like this being fried, smells delicious. So when I make chile rellenos, my husband's not much of a rice person. My children and I are. We go rice all the way, but we don't eat much beans. Now he, on the other hand, loves beans. Que no es mexicano sin frijoles en la casa, ¿verdad? So I always gotta have some done for him. So I usually will pair it for my husband with some beans de la olla, or just refry them a little. If I eat beans, they have to be refried. I just find them that they taste better because, you know, agarran el sazón de la cebolla. But I'll show you guys that in another video, how to make beans and refry them. And that's it for right now. We'll be back in a few. So el consommé, we're gonna put, see that tomato sauce that we just made? It's here. I want it a little bit thick, not too watery, just, you know, with this kind of texture right here. And this is where we're gonna put our consommé in. So I'll usually put about half of a kitchen spoon, not a cooking, like, you know, not the little ones, but like these big cooking ones, half of it. And pretty much el consommé is to your taste, you know, al gusto. Si les gusta un poquito salados, sin tanta sal, lo que sea, al gusto. And you guys will try it out to see if it is what you were expecting. And if not, it's the time. Perfect. But this would be the time where you would add more. Oh my god, that shit was good. Can't wait to eat these. So this is literally all we need for tomato sauce. And this is usually a lot of like women, I've seen that some other people, what they do is they'll make just like a bigger portion and they'll put like all their chiles in there. I personally don't do it. I mean, if it were up to me, myself, and I would, because I do love it like sunk in there. But my husband and my children don't like it as much. They don't like as much as tomato sauce in there. So just let it boil just for a little bit. And we're going to take out our last chile over here. And then I'll show you our last step. So just with our chile already on our plate, we literally just serve our tomato sauce. Some will want more and some will want less. Pero miren qué rico. Yummy.
Try. Now
Yeah.
listen, viewers, I'm not gonna lie for you, sister. This shit ain't bomb.
Give me your true
Opinion.
Yummy.
Bring that down.
Yeah?
This is very delicious. I had no idea she could even make it, but I'm so proud of you, sister.
Thank
This is
you.
bomb.
So guys, these easy steps is what makes you make a chile relleno. It's not that hard. It's not time consuming. As I grew up, a lot of people were like, ay, que tarda tanto, que no le fijas a mi huevo, que porque se corta, y que sabe que tanto. No, ladies, it's simple, easy, and it's perfect for the occasion we're in. Tune in, give me a like, subscribe. I think you hit the little bell next to it so you can see all my future videos coming up. Thank you so much, and many kisses. I appreciate you guys for sticking this long of the video and following me through it, and for joining me in my new journey. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.